Yeah, next time I know better than to buy from a person like you. And I screenshot the message because I'm thinking like if something weird happens and she try to like say some shit about me or make me lose my job, like I gotta prove this lady is racist and crazy. Like what kind of shit is this? All right, y'all. So welcome back to my story times. I decided to start doing this new little series, and like kind of, just talking about like my work life. Okay, so this story time is about something that I recently experienced. There's this lady, right? I set an appointment with her, get her to come in, and she's super nice to me over the phone. The whole time, like everything's golden. She's really nice to me. So she comes in and she comes in really late. So the dealership closes at 8. Yeah, the dealership closed at 8 that night. So she walks in at like 7, pushing it like 7 something. I can't remember the exact time. It was like 7. It was close to 8 where I was like starting to wrap up my stuff so I can go home. I was like, I guess she's not coming because she was supposed to come like way several hours before then, and she wasn't returning any of my calls, my texts, or anything. So I'm thinking like, obviously she's not coming. So I just started kind of packing my stuff up and getting ready to kind of bounce. But then she walks in, and she walks in with her whole family. It's like her husband, her kids, and everything. So they walk in, and they're looking at an SUV, and like when she first walked in, she like sized me up. It was so weird. Like, okay, like she looked me like up and down. And customers do that. Like they do size you up, but her sizing up was the same sizing up that I'm used to. Generally, like I usually people walk in and they might look me up and down just like, oh, like trying to figure me out, but it wasn't the same with her. Hers was more like she walks in and she's like, and I was like, and she's like, I was like, I'm gonna just call her, Nemo. So I was like, yeah, are you Nemo? And she was like, yeah, are you Rose? I was like, yeah. I was like, nice to meet you. So we started talking, and she like kind of loosened up again. She started being nice. Everything was good, golden. And I ended up selling her the SUV that she was looking for. The whole process, like she wasn't even rude to me, even through like negotiating prices. Like we came to an agreement. It took a little while, but we made it happen. And everything was good. She was nice to me. Like she was just a normal person. Everything was good. Her family was there. Her husband was super nice to me. Her kids were super nice to me. Like that was just it. And so yeah, I sold them this car. What was missing? She needed something done because remind y'all, she did come in like really late. So there were certain things that needed to get done that couldn't be done that night, because by the time we finished, it was like 11 o'clock basically. Obviously, anything you need to get done or want to get done to your car that needs to be done, it has to go through service, and service had already closed several hours before then. They even closed before the dealership closes. So that wasn't an option. We had to do it the next day. I got everything set up because I had it set for, she was supposed to arrive at 4 p.m. I usually planned my day out, and I had everything kind of planned out for her arriving at 4 p.m. So I made sure the car would be ready, detailed, gassed up, ready to drive home by like 2:30ish. That way, if anything happens, at least we still have like maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours to get whatever fixed. So that's how I planned it out. So she texted me. I was with a customer, and I didn't even have my phone on me. I had it on a charger on my desk. All I had was like my watch. And so I got her message, like it buzzed, but then I couldn't text back because I was on a test drive. So I couldn't even reply, but I got her message, and she was like, oh, what time will the car be ready, or something like that. Because I had already left her voicemail and told her, and I was like, give me a call when you get a chance to. I told her all the details. This thing that needed to get done to her car, it made it to where the car would be ready by 2:30, and we had already set an appointment the previous night for her to come in at 4. By the time I get back to the dealership, she like started calling the phone, and I had these customers like in my office, so I'm not just gonna pick up and be like, hey, what's up? So I just sent her like a quick text, and I was like, hey, give me a second, I'm with some customers, I'll call you as soon as I get a chance to. Like she flipped the script. I don't know what was going on with her or why she became this way, but so yes. So I sent her a text message or whatever, and I let her know, like, I'll get back to you. So that was I think it was like 10. I believe that's around what time that all happened. So at like, by the time my customers left, it was like, I think 12. And so at 12 is when I went ahead and I went and checked in with the service department and make sure everything was going well with her car, got an updated time, all of that before I even hit her up again. So I got all of that done, and then I sent her a long text of everything that the service advisors told me about the car, just like every single thing about it, so that she's in the loop and not feeling, in any way left out. She walks in an hour later. Even after I told her everything and reconfirmed the time and everything, she walks in at 1 p.m. Okay? And when she walks in, she walked in wanting like some headphones or something like that. So yeah, so she wanted these headphones, and she was trying to get like free headphones, and she was mad because I wasn't able to do it for her. Like, those headphones were like $400, okay? I can't just give you $400 headphones. First of all, I don't even have access to them. It comes from the parts department. Like, and if I randomly give you this, $400 is coming out of my check. So so it's like, I told her, like, instead of, obviously she wanted some free headphones because she bought a car that had like, the screens in it. So she wanted some free headphones. And I couldn't get it for her. So what I did was I got her a extreme discount, and I was like, okay, I can give you the code to this discount so that you can get them. Now, the discount, the headphones were like $400 or something like that. I think the discount made the headphones like half off or something like that, like more like around $200 or something, which is a really good price for something that costs $400. Okay, so I was like, that's the first option. That's what I'm going to give you. Another thing that I could recommend personally is I sent her a link to Amazon, who had they had the same brand headphones, and they had headphones that were very similar to that brand, and they were $60 for two pair and like a remote and all this stuff. So, and that was like if you get the same brand. The other brand that was just like it, who had just as many stars, they were both 5-star headphones. And that one had I think it was like 35, so that was even less, and you get 2 headphones, remote, and like some other piece thing. I don't even know what it was, like an aux cord or something like that. But so I sent her those links. I was like, honestly, like, you could do the discount, but what I would personally do, like myself, what I would recommend is this, and I sent her the 2 links. Okay, now me doing that is me trying to help out my customer. Like, if I sell somebody something, like, they become my friends, especially if they're super nice to me, like she was the previous night. Okay, like, at that point, like, if I do something like afterward, I'm probably trying to help in some sort of way, however I possibly can. So I did that, right, because I had already been told no by the managers that I could not give her any headphones, and that they were not going to give her any headphones. She didn't buy none. So you just don't get randomly free headphones. So, yeah. So that's how that went. I sent it to her. She was like, okay, thanks. But when she came in, she wanted to speak to the manager about those free headphones, try to get them. And eventually he gave them to her. But after then, like, she had like this vendetta against me because I couldn't do it for her, like, because they told me no or whatever. I think that's where it started. I know that's where it started, where she first started being like rude or whatever. But even then, when that happened, like, once they gave her the free headphones, then she was like, okay. And then she was normal again. So she ended up leaving or whatever, and she went to, like, I did her little delivery or whatever, and everything was good, golden. And she was like, I'm gonna hold off on the second key, because she didn't want to get her second key made. That was something else that we decided, that we texted about, is that she didn't want to do that because they told me the time frame for getting the second key made was, I think they said an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. And they said to give them 2 hours to be safe. So I told her 2 hours. But when she got there, obviously it wasn't made. The key wasn't made because the car wasn't supposed to be ready until until 2:30, and she came in at 1, and she was supposed to come in at 4. Okay, so obviously the key was not going to be made yet. She went to the service or whatever. She ended up leaving, and then she came back and she was like, I decided I'm gonna just go ahead and get this key made. She was like, I really don't want to, drive all the way out here. I actually live a little bit farther. She was like, I don't want to drive out here again. It's like a 30-minute drive, and I still want to go back to work and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, and she didn't really tell me that direct. She told the service advisor, but he told me. So when I was like working, the service department and the rest of the dealership, like the sales department, we're different departments. Like, we're not like this. Like, we don't know every single thing that's going on in service, and service doesn't know every single thing that's going on in sales. So when you tell a service advisor something and your sale is completely done, and like you've already taken delivery of your vehicle and drove off and stuff like that, at that point I kind of lose contact of what's happening to your car. If you personally decide to bring your car back into service and get something done to it outside of telling me anything, if you don't tell me that directly, I don't know about it. The only way that I know is if you choose to tell me as well. Then I'll be able to check in on it for you and stuff like that. But if I don't know, then there's nothing that I can do, okay? That I cannot like rush them in any way. I can't try and speed up the process because I don't even know what's going on. So yeah, she came back, but she went to the service department. And mind y'all, I'm away from the service department. I don't really go over there unless I have a customer over there. Or unless I have to actually get something from the service department or working on my own car or something like that. I ended up walking by and seeing her, and she was sitting in like a lounge or whatever, and I seen her and I was like, hey, and I was like, you back? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I decided to go ahead and get this key made and all this stuff. And so that's when I went and checked in with the advisor, and he told me everything that she said. And when I came back, I was like, well, I don't really want you to wait because he mentioned that you need to get back to work. And I was like, yeah, like he said that the key takes anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes up to 2 hours. And if you're trying to get back to work, sounds to me that you have a little bit of ways to drive. So I wanted to kind of, help her out. So I was like, well, we offer, free loaners. I was like, maybe I could get you a loaner or something like that to help speed up the process. If they don't have any loaners left, then I could see if one of my managers will let you drive like one of our other cars until that one's ready. Like, I was just saying all kinds of stuff to see what I could do to help. And she was like she was listening, and she was just like, just looking like that. And she was like, do you have a shuttle? And I was like, yeah, I can check. And I went to check to make sure we had a shuttle, and it was like, yeah, we have one available. It's not an actual shuttle there, but it's a person that would drive her to her location. And I was like, we could do that, and I could, see if maybe we could bring the car to you after that. And remind y'all, like, the sale, like everything about it was completely done. She was delivered and had already left and decided to come back and was in service on her own, not an appointment through me, but on her own, just showing up to service randomly and deciding, okay, let's get this done now instead. So that's kind of how that was going. So I was just trying to help because I knew she had to go somewhere, okay? I was just trying to be a good person. So I say this stuff, right? And then I was like, I'll be right back. Like, I didn't really give her a chance to respond. I was like, hold on, give me a second. I ran to make sure that we had a loaner or that we had somebody to drive her. And then I ran back. And I was like, okay, yeah, like both of those options are available. And she was just like looking at me, and she was like, and she just kept like looking me up and down like that. And I was like, then it got weird because I'm like, what the heck is wrong with her? And she's like, I don't want to drive she's like, I don't want to drive y'all cars. I was like, okay. I was like, well, you can do a shuttle if you're in a rush, then they could shuttle you, and I could see if somebody could deliver it to you, or maybe I could and just have somebody pick me up. And she's like, no. She's like, I want to drive my own car, and it needs to be out. She's like, I've been sitting here waiting. Remind y'all, she had only been there like 10-15 minutes, and they said an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. She's like, I've been sitting here waiting. It's almost 20 minutes. She's like, it's almost 20 minutes, and they still not done. I was like, well, they said an hour and 45 minutes, like minimum, and the max is like 2 hours. So I don't think it would be done anytime soon. And she was like, well, she's like, at this point, I don't trust your word no more, because if I bring, she was like, if I bring my car into service and I want it out right now, you should be able to just go get it out right now for me. She was like, I want a new salesperson. She's like, and then, okay, she was like, I want a new salesperson. I'm like, well, like, I didn't really get it. I'm like, you don't need a salesperson. You're in service right now. What are you talking about? I was like, and like when I did that, she was like, I don't trust you. I don't trust your word. She was like, I really don't. She's like, I just don't like you at this point. She's like, I don't even feel comfortable no more. I don't want your car. I don't want your car. Like all this shit. And I was just like I was like kind of mind blown, because she was not like that before. And like all of a sudden she was just like that. I was like, I was just trying to help. Like, I didn't mean to offend you. She was like, next time you bring me another salesperson, bring a different skin tone, bring a different skin color. And I was like I started looking around, and like there was a cashier desk, right? And there was this guy back there. So I looked at him first, because we were all kind of in vicinity, and there were some other customers standing there that all were just kind of listening in. And she was like, yeah, I want somebody else. And so then I'm thinking, like, a different skin tone. Like, are you saying that you don't like me, or you feel like I'm being rude because of my skin color? And she was like, I want a different salesperson. So she's like, you know what? Let me speak to a manager, right? So I go get a manager. There's no manager back there. There's like the next person, the next up person that can help is this one guy. I'm gonna call him Phoenix. No, I'm gonna call him I ain't gonna call him nothing. I'm gonna call him manager. Okay. So this guy comes out. Y'all, he is a black person as well, okay? So this guy comes out. He's not a manager, because the service managers were like not there for whatever reason. Like, I tried to get a service manager, they weren't there. So I was like, okay, what the heck? And I was like, I can't speed up her process in any way. At this point, she's lashing out at my skin color, so this is an issue. So I tried to get a manager. They was like, we don't have no managers back here. None of the service people wanted to come talk to her, because you know how she was acting. And so the guy that went and talked to her, he was in service. I can't remember what his position was, but he came and talked to her, and he's like, okay, can I figure out, he's like, can I help you? What could I assist you with? And all this stuff. And she started sizing him up, like she was not feeling him. And I was like, okay. Like, now I get it. Now I see exactly what this issue is. It's not that you feel like I was being rude to you, because I just brought somebody who you know nothing about, who you have never met in your life, and you just like started being super rude to him. And it wasn't like, she wasn't being rude as in like, okay, this is happening with my car kind of rude. It was more like, then she started looking at him, like giving him that same look that she was doing to me. And she was like, and then she looked back at me, because she did say different color, but unfortunately I didn't have a different color to bring her. So she was like, and then she looked, like she kept looking back and forth, and then she looked at the cashier guy, and he's just like sitting there, and she rolled her eyes, and she was like, I'm so done. She was like, I'm so done. I'm like, what the heck? Like I still, like, I was like mind boggled, because she was not like that when her family was there. Like, she was like this whole other person. And like when she came there by herself, she was another person. Like, both times she was like, the first time, like, she was like a normal person. Like, she was outgoing. Like, I was like, okay, she's a really nice person. But then when she came by herself, she was completely different. I was just like, I'm okay. I'm gonna just walk off and call this a day. Like, I tried to assist. The issue was that she wanted her card to come out right then and there. But she did want the second key. She did want the second key made. She just wanted them to be done with it, like, right then. And I was like, it doesn't work like that. Like, if they give you a time, that's how it is. Like, you can't just be like if somebody tell you that, that's like, okay, if I go get my nails done, right, and I'm like, okay, what's the wait? And they're like, 30 minutes, right? And then 10 minutes go by, and I'm like, are you done? Can I get my nails done now? And they're like, I told you 30 minutes. It only been 10. And I'm like, I can't handle this. Y'all rude. I gotta go. Like, what the heck? Like, that's it just don't make sense. So I was just puzzled. Like, I didn't even know how to respond to the whole situation. And then when she started talking about, oh, I need a different skin color, blah, blah, blah. And all I know is when I heard skin tone, when I heard her say, like, when I knew she was talking about the color of my skin, like, I started zoning out. At that point, I was like, okay, well, let's get a service manager. There wasn't a service manager available, so I got the next best person. She wasn't feeling him, and I'm pretty sure we all know why, because he had the same brown skin tone as me. And everything got done, and we just left it alone. But so a few days later, she called, and she called the manager that we were working with the night where she was super nice, and she talked down about me. Like, she talked down about me. And then she sent me a fucking text message, and she was like, yeah, next time I know better than to buy from a person like you. And I screenshot the message because I'm thinking, like, if something weird happens and she try to like say some shit about me or make me lose my job, like, I got proof this lady is racist and crazy. Like, what kind of shit is this? I got a whole track because I was texting like on my cell phone, so I had a whole like line of everything that she said. Like, I had it all the way back from when she first even messaged about the car, because I text her. Like, that's how the conversation started to begin with, before she even bought the car. Like, I had every single thing we ever talked about up in that mood. I was like, I wish you would try me. Like, no ma'am, this is not okay. Like, I just didn't see it coming, honestly. Like, I just didn't. And that's never really happened to me in a place of business. Like, I've had people that you can tell that they was kind of feeling some sort of way kind of thing happen. Like, I've had those kind of situations, but I've never had nobody literally say, like, basically tell me that they don't like me because of my skin tone. Like, I've never had, like, working, like, as a working woman, like, I've never dealt with that before. That was the first time, and I did not know how to respond to it. Like, it didn't make me, like, sad or anything, but it made me just, like, I don't know, like, she was just really ignorant, but I was more puzzled than anything, because she wasn't like that. It was very, like backwards to me that she was like that all of a sudden, when she wasn't the day before. When her family was there, she was this whole different person. So maybe she's like racist, and like, maybe she's racist but her family doesn't know she's racist. Maybe her family's like okay with other races or black people, but she ain't. But she kind of just holds it in, and maybe she was just like, fuck this shit, I'm about to just release like a demon up in here, like. I don't know, but it was crazy, y'all. Like, I got so many stories, bro, like stuff that's happened since I've been in car business, and I think that's one of the top ones. That's one of the ones that was like, didn't really make me feel bad, but it did. Okay, I can say that, like, it didn't affect me as a person. Like, it didn't make me like, oh no, she didn't like my skin color, boo, like, get the fuck out of here. I could care less. I think my confidence is too high for me for something like that to affect me. But the fact that I was like trying to help her, and that I had done so much, like, from staying extremely late when I was supposed to get off at 6 p.m. and waiting for her to get there and hoping she would get there, and leaving at 11 p.m. and like staying like all those hours to help her out, and like coming in earlier the next day so that I can get the stuff done on her car and all that. I was supposed to come in at 11 a.m. and I came in at 8:30. Like, all of that shit right there, that's like, I literally worked overtime, and we don't even get paid hourly. Like, I literally did all this shit to try to help you out because I thought you were a genuine person. If I would have known you was like this, I wouldn't even try to sell you the damn car, because I honestly would have just like been like, like, if I would have known that she was like that, like, if she would have treated me that way in the beginning, she would have never went home with a car. On everything, she would not, because I would not have been the person. Like, I would have went in there and told my managers like everything that she was saying, and we would have see how it would have went. And if she was just like rude to me in generally, if you're like super rude to a salesperson, they probably won't fight as hard for you to get a deal. And I fought hella hard to get her the deal, because not only I needed the deal, like, I needed the number. I knew it wasn't going to make me very much money because of the deal that she wanted. I knew I wasn't going to make any money really, but I needed the number is what I was aiming for. And then she seemed like a really good person, so I was just trying to help them out. That's kind of where it was. But that shit right there, the fact that I put in so much work and tried like to get things done for her, to help her out, I think that's what makes me like kind of, it makes me irritated more than anything. That it feels like, dang, like, I put in all this work, and then not even that she lashed out. I get it, miscommunication maybe, but the fact that her lashing out wasn't really because of miscommunication. It was because of my skin color. Like, that whole time, like, that's what she was holding in inside of, like, her body was like, I literally do not like you, like, and just pretending, like, just being fake to get the deal, I guess. Maybe that's why she was nice the first night. I don't know. I really don't understand. I don't get it. It's 2019. Like, chill out. I don't get it. Go research. Go become a non-ignorant person. Like, go learn about other cultures and realize that it's like there's no point in being that way. But to each their own. Anyways, thank you all for watching this video. If y'all have any experiences that y'all have ever dealt with similarly, definitely let me know in the comment box. If y'all like these story times where I give y'all like the insights on my job and things like that, definitely let me know. I'll do them more often. But yeah, it's time for me to hibernate, so I've probably talked really slow and dragged this out just because I'm so tired. So peace out. I'm really gonna go to sleep this time, I promise. Goodbye. I'm still tired, y'all. I haven't even hibernated from my last video, okay? I got ready for bed. I didn't even fully take my makeup off or nothing yet. I'm tired, y'all.